Hello and welcome to episode 4 of counting down surprisingly expensive LEGO minifigures. For the rules, I'm not covering any extremely limited exclusives like those from Comic-Con. Instead, these are just regular minifigures that thousands of people had access to when they were released, but have still become insanely expensive. Your comments helped me find entries, so if you leave a suggestion below, you may get featured in the next episode. The final 2 entries for today are particularly expensive, and each have crazy stories that led to their high prices. With that, let's get into exploring some of these minifigures. To start our list, we have the pair of flying monkeys, originally from The Wizard of Oz. However, what's crazy about these minifigures is that they were released as part of the Ultimate Batmobile set from the LEGO Batman movie alongside the Wicked Witch, creating a bizarre crossover. At the end of the LEGO Batman movie, the Joker unleashes a slew of the ultimate villains from alternate dimensions, such as Sauron, Agent Smith, and Voldemort, and that's how we ended up with these minifigures. The only difference between the two is their face print, and they both sell for around $20 to $25, so not nearly as insane as some of the other minifigures on this list. Their heads are of course exclusive molds, and the rest of their parts have either exclusive prints or coloring, and that sand blue color is quite rare in general. The original set retailed for $140, contributing to the high price of the minifigures. The original set could also break apart into 4 different smaller Bat vehicles, giving a ton of different options for play. For a bonus fact, LEGO's partnership with the Wizard of Oz is one of the most bizarre I've seen. To date, Wizard of Oz minifigures have appeared across 3 different LEGO themes, but none of them have been dedicated solely to the Wizard of Oz movie. First, the Wicked Witch released as a LEGO Dimensions character in 2015. Then we'd get these flying monkeys alongside the witch in 2017 for Batman, and in 2019, Dorothy, the Cowardly Lion, the Scarecrow, and the Tin Man would all make appearances in the minifigure series for the LEGO Movie 2. It's as if LEGO wanted to release the minifigures, but never wanted to fully commit to selling a set based solely off of the original film. I've always thought a small yellow brick road set would be great for adult collectors, but perhaps LEGO thinks otherwise. Next up, we have a minifigure that's actually from DC Comics, Raven. This minifigure is based on the Teen Titans Go show and was released in 2017 alongside Beast Boy in a LEGO Dimensions Teen Pack. Today, Raven sells for around $30. She has an exclusive face print which is 2-sided, and exclusive torso and leg prints as well. Additionally, her dark purple cape and hood are quite rare. The hood has only ever been released with one other minifigure, Rogul from Nexo Knights. I've personally never been a fan of the Teen Titans Go art style, but I understand that Raven is still an important character to a ton of DC fans, particularly for her role in the original Cartoon Network series. I can't help but think that if they released a version with a regularly styled minifigure faceprint based on that show, it would be even more sought after than this minifigure, similar to the situation with Starfire and Beast Boy, both of whom have received regular versions, albeit, in the Beast Boy example, the Teen Titans Go version is surprisingly more expensive. So perhaps I'm wrong. Regardless, I don't think anyone would be upset if LEGO were to release a new version of Raven. For number 8, we have the Fisherman from the LEGO Ideas old fishing store. He sells for around $40, but his high price is a complete mystery to me. His hat and face print are nothing special, but his torso and dual molded legs are exclusive. The legs are particularly useful with those black boots for custom builders. The old fishing store was an expensive set, which is another factor that can contribute to minifigures becoming expensive. However, I don't think these factors justify his $40 price tag. He's a good minifigure, but not a standout, and he doesn't have the draw of being a licensed, known character like the previous 2 entries on this list. And here's the real kicker to this oddity. The Fisher Woman minifigure included in the set, which also features an exclusive torso print, which is even better in my opinion, and similarly dual molded legs, only sells for $3 to $5. That's an insane difference in price for 2 minifigures in the exact same set that are equally collectible in every sense. And I have no idea why the Fisherman is so much more expensive. If you have ideas about why this is the case, I'd love to hear them down in the comments. Jumping back to another licensed character, we have Quicksilver from the Avengers Age of Ultron Hydra Fortress Smash set. He sells for $40 to $50 and was only ever released in this one set since he doesn't appear in any other Avengers movie, mostly due to the dying part in Age of Ultron. His white hairpiece and exclusive torso prints contribute to him being expensive, but I really think he's expensive just because he's an Avenger who was only released in one set 7 years ago. Since LEGO is now going back and releasing sets based on past Marvel movies under their Infinity Saga theme, there's a chance he could return in a future set, so if you don't have him already, you may get a chance to pick him up in the future at a more reasonable price. If you're enjoying the video so far, subscribe so that you don't miss future episodes and other LEGO content. Moving on to probably the most unique minifigure on this list, we have Killo from Ninjago. He's technically a big figure, but I still think he's suitable for this list. I've never followed Ninjago, but just looking at this minifigure screams big biker dude. LEGO completely ripped off the Harley-Davidson color scheme when designing this character, but it totally works. Underneath his mask, you'll find a hilariously small head that makes the minifigure so much less intimidating, albeit that headpiece on a normal-sized minifigure would look really good. He's definitely a unique figure with his tattoos up and down his body, and was only ever released in one set, where he was paired with a chopper that had a huge saw blade of death. Today, he sells for $45 to $60. For a bonus fact, Killo is big enough to use regular minifigure skateboards as roller skates. Our next minifigure hails from Middle-earth, Radagast, the Brown Wizard. This minifigure is one of the most expensive from the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit themes, with a price of $50 to $60. And with the resurgence of interest in the Lord of the Rings, I don't see this minifigure getting cheaper, as I doubt it's one LEGO will ever release again, even if the theme does return. He's just not that popular of a character. Radagast released in the 2013 Dol Guldur battle set that at the time didn't seem to sell that well and was criticized for being composed of a mishmash of rock walls that didn't have any kind of interesting focal point. But in spite of the set's flaws, Radagast and Azog were still two standout minifigures. The Brown Wizard's hat, face, and torso are all exclusive. His hat and beard is molded in one piece and has one of the grossest details LEGO has ever included on a minifigure: bird poop running down the side of his head from the nest underneath his hat. If you're buying this minifigure used today, make sure it comes with the detachable dark tan feather in the hat. That's another exclusive piece, but one that is really easily lost. As a bonus fact, Radagast makes an appearance in the Tower of Orthank's artifact room as a sticker on one of the walls. Moving on, this version of Nightwing from the LEGO Batman movie sells for $60 to $65. In my opinion, he's the goofiest looking of all the Nightwing minifigures, but this is intentional as Robin in the movie is a comedic and silly character. His helmet, torso, legs, and cape are all exclusive. The goggles on the mask are crooked, and the torso is a homemade costume with an off-center logo and stitched-on six-pack. Additionally, the outer black underwear on the legs is all scrunched up as well. These pieces would be great for a homemade Halloween costume minifigure. In spite of the silly details, the minifigure's cape, armor, and wings are all really useful pieces that have helped to drive up this minifigure's price. Additionally, he was only ever released in the Joker Manor, a notoriously rare and expensive set that was a LEGO store exclusive. For a bonus fact, Nightwing made his LEGO debut back in 2006 during the original LEGO Batman theme. He came in the first version of Arkham Asylum, a nostalgic and highly sought-after set that sells for around $300 today used. He's quite expensive today as well, selling for around $30 to $40. For the 8th entry on today's list, we have Velma, the most expensive minifigure of the Mystery Gang. Every piece of her is exclusive, and her hairpiece has never even been made in any other color. She only ever released in the Mystery Mansion, one of the best spooky sets LEGO has ever made that I discussed in my previous top 10. Today, she typically sells for $75 to $90. Beyond her having all exclusive parts, I think she's so expensive because of how successfully LEGO translated her as well as the rest of the Mystery Gang into LEGO form. Other minifigures on this list, like Quicksilver, don't all have face prints that look that much like their on-screen counterparts, but Velma is a perfect translation. Additionally, Scooby-Doo is a property which has thoroughly cemented itself into the cultural zeitgeist and appeals to collectors of all ages. Our second to last minifigure is Kanan Jarrus from Star Wars Rebels, who sells for a whopping $250. However, for him to go for so much, he has to have this black face print and hairpiece. You see, this minifigure's black hair and beard was actually a mistake, as Kanan has brown hair in the show. LEGO often starts planning their sets far in advance, and reportedly sometimes by only working with concept art for characters and vehicles. So back when Kanan was first released alongside the Ghost spaceship, the initial production of all the sets had this black-haired version. However, at some point early on in the set's production run, LEGO went ahead and corrected the minifigure to better match the on-screen version, transitioning to a dark brown hairpiece and face print, and this would be the coloring they would stick with for Kanan throughout the rest of the Rebels line of sets. As a consequence, the original black-haired version is crazy expensive and rare, while the brown-haired iteration only sells for $7 to $10. So if you bought the Ghost back in the day and didn't know about this, go scour through your collection for Kanan and hope that you're able to strike it rich. For the last minifigure on today's list, we have Finch Dallow, another insanely expensive Star Wars minifigure that sells for around $600. He has a story similar to that of Kanan Jarrus, albeit in this case, it's even more extreme. In 2017, LEGO would release the Resistance Bomber to coincide with the release of Star Wars The Last Jedi. In it, they would include an unnamed Resistance Bomber pilot, which is actually a really great minifigure with an awesome helmet and unique face print. However, this minifigure isn't accurate to the black actor we see on screen piloting the ship, so more than a year after the set's release, LEGO decided to switch out the unnamed pilot with the more accurate Finch Dallow. However, by this time, the set was in its final stretch of production, making additions with this new minifigure quite rare and thus expensive. Finch Dallow has an exclusive face print, as well as updated printing for the helmet as well. Today, sealed copies of the updated Resistance Bomber sell for well over $1,000, and because there are so few available now, my bet is that they will continue to appreciate over time, creating one of the most valuable Star Wars sets and minifigures of all time. That concludes our list for today. Let me know in the comments other minifigures you'd like me to cover in future episodes, and any other thoughts you have as well. And until next time, see you later.